It's time for this week's View from the Sideline. Here's Bryan Burchfield.
We welcome you into this week's View from the Sideline. Joining me this week, junior wide receiver and defensive back for the Wildcats, Matthew Kile. Matthew, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I appreciate you coming and spending a few minutes with us on this week's View from the Sideline. Last week, you were our Domino's player of the game. You had 5 receptions for 135 yards and 2 touchdowns in that game against Red Bank. Was you having fun out there Friday?
Oh, definitely.
I asked you after the game Friday, why were you able to get open? There's a couple plays you were running wide open. Tell us, why do you think that was?
All week we practiced our routes, and we got the best DBs available. We tried to go good on good, and we ran the routes, and our coaches told us this is what we need to do to get open, and I did what the coaches said, and it worked, and it was successful.
Tell us a couple things that you did to run free, and especially those touchdowns. You were open. What was a couple things you did to make that happen?
The first one, I had a block and go, so I took off the line as fast as I could to make it seem like I was going to block. And then 1,000, 2,000, and then I'd go on the go route and just look for the ball, and Drew threw a great ball to me.
Are you sometimes afraid when you're that open when the ball's coming to you that you might drop it?
Yeah, sometimes it runs through my head, but I just try my best to focus on getting the catch before I try to run.
Do you feel that game Friday was one of the best you've ever played?
Definitely.
5 receptions, as I said, 135 yards, 2 touchdowns. Matthew Kile, our guest on this week's View from the Sideline. He was our Domino's player of the game last week. Now, that second half of that game against Red Bank did not go as planned. He ended up losing 42-19. Have you guys been able to move past that loss this week and focus on Polk County?
Yes, we have been able to move on. It did hurt because we were tied for first with them, and now we're third because Loudon's tied with them. But we've moved on, and we are ready for Polk. We've been focused all week on beating Polk. I think we're ready.
Still a lot of football to be played. Have you guys talked about that? Even though that loss was there, you guys are still can make things happen with some wins and maybe a little help on down the road.
We are, yes, that is true. We are trying to stay 8-2 for the rest of the regular season.
So you're playing both sides of the ball this season, wide receiver and defensive back. Which side of the ball do you prefer?
Probably the offensive side.
Tell me, what do you like best about offense?
I like getting open and catching the ball and making plays.
Now, defense, tell us about your position, defensive back. What's some things that you have to remember as a defensive back going into each play?
I got to remember how they line up and what coverages we need to run to that lineup, and I got to know all the coverages. I got to relay it to our other DBs, our linebackers and stuff, so they know the coverages, and then I just got to find the football and get to it.
Think back to your freshman year now till your junior season. How do you think you've improved and grown as a football player?
I've gotten stronger, faster. I've gotten smarter on the field. I've just gotten bigger and stuff.
Matthew Kile, our guest on this week's View from the Sideline. Matthew, does that come with experience? Coaching, weightlifting, all that combined has led to you improving from freshman to junior season?
Yes, it has. Coach E has us in the weight room as much as we can get in there. All summer we're in the weight room. And we're in the weight room before season. We're in the weight room during season. And we don't get that much time off in the weight room.
So look ahead. Football season be ending in a couple months, and you go right into basketball season. Mm-hmm. Everybody been around Sweetwater Sports knows you play basketball as well. We don't talk too much about basketball during football season, but do you prefer basketball or football?
Probably basketball because I've played basketball a lot longer. And I just feel like I'm better at basketball than I am football. But I still love playing football. It's still so much fun to play.
So you mentioned earlier, as far as football, playing on the offensive side, being receiver is your favorite side of the ball in position. Walk us through a couple of your favorite plays, a couple of routes.
One is the block and go. It's like a double move route. I run out to the DB like I'm going to block him. I count 1,000, 2, 1,000, then I just take off on the go, and it gets him. He's looking back in the backfield, and I can just blow by him, and it's a lot easier to get open that way. Another one is probably the post route, just because I like running under the ball and getting it and keeping my momentum running forwards towards the end zone.
Now talk about the other aspect of being a receiver. If you know the play's not coming to you, it's going to be a run or something of that nature. Talk about the blocking aspect. Are you a good blocker, or do you take blocking plays off?
Well, we have to always block because you never know what the running back's going to do. He could cut back, so we always got to have our block, and I feel like I'm a pretty good blocker.
Matthew, coming into this 2017 season, did you guys as a team come together and say, this is what we want to accomplish in this year, or was it just take one game at a time?
We did. We have team goals, and it's no matter how stuff's going, is to try and keep our heads up and just have the best season we can and try to go as far as we can in the playoffs and just keep getting better every week.
And playoffs are still certainly very much in the picture for this Wildcat football team. Now, personally, you individually, did you have some goals you set for yourself that you wanted to accomplish in this season?
Yes, I wanted to have a couple games like over 100 yards receiving, at least like maybe 2 touchdowns a game, and get player of the game, and that worked out.
Hey, maybe this Polk County game will be another one. Tell us about Polk County. You guys feel like you match up well with Polk County and feel like you guys can rebound and get the win tonight?
Yes, we definitely feel like we can. We've been practicing to their formations. We've got our defense set up to go against their offense, and they like to run the ball a lot, so it's going to be a fight. It's going to be who wants to win more.
Of course, this game, Matthew, at Polk County tonight starts a 3-game road schedule for you guys. Do you enjoy playing on the road?
Sometimes. Just I don't like the bus rides.
So even for the bus ride, you'd be okay.
Yeah.
So does the away crowd? Does it bother you, or that really don't factor in?
No, I just try my best to stay focused on the game and on what I need to do to help us get the win.
So if we could figure out a way to eliminate the bus ride, you'd be good.
Yep.
That's Junior Matthew Kile, our guest on this week's View from the Sideline. Matthew, thank you for your time, and good luck tonight against Polk County.
Thank you for having me.
You've been listening to View from the Sideline. The Fairweather Financial pregame show is coming up next.